Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Hello to those of you that have already checked in. Yes, Optics, I've already seen the mistake. I've rushed to dive in there and try and get the stream up and running tonight. So please bear with me, I will make the alteration, but thank you for your spelling error. Always courteous like that, aren't you? Good lad. Have a good race. Yeah, welcome back to Dragon Force Racing League Season 9 Race 1 as we rejoin the action. Now, 2 weeks since we wrapped up Season 8 and we had Dan Murphy as the Drivers' Champion, just clinching it in the last race there. Now, he came into Season 8 as a reserve driver. He is still a reserve driver going into Season 9, however we can see he's on the grid tonight in the Alfa Romeo, so good to see him back. And close championship rival last season, Spencer Milton there in the AlphaTauri for this season. So a few drivers having a little bit of shuffle around in the cars this season. Looks like we've got full grid as we speak, so we're just waiting on the host to ready up. There we are as we speak. He shall do. And we'll let these guys get underway. So we've got a 18-minute short qualifying session followed by a 50% race, 27 laps of the Susuka Japanese circuit. So we are down under. Not quite down under, I suppose, but land of the rising sun, eh? There we are. Right then. So, facts and figures. Well, we all like some facts and figures. 1963, first time Japan hosted a Formula 1 Grand Prix. And ever since been there 37 occasions, and on 14 occasions has in fact crowned the Drivers' Championship title winner of that season. So very historic and one of the more famous and original circuits on the current calendar. As for drivers, well, Schumacher 6 wins to his name, Hamilton 5 wins, and Sebastian Vettel 4 wins to the name at Suzuka. So Hamilton could potentially top Schumacher's record in 2022 when we go back to Suzuka, but we'll see how he gets on in that quest. In terms of the track itself, 5.8 kilometres, one of the longest tracks on the current calendar, but also it's quite a complex circuit for those that are about to see it for the first time this evening. Ride on board. We will ride on board with one of the first ones out of the pit lane, and I'm sure through the first sector especially you'll see what I mean. And yeah, really looking forward to getting back on track tonight. We'll keep an eye out who's going out first, and we'll try and ride on board with them. Majority of the drivers were in last season, but we have got a few newbies to the league, so we'll keep an eye on those guys especially tonight and see how they get on. Now, most will opt for the soft tyre, we think, for the qualifying session, but if you are in the top 10 you do need to start on the tyre you qualify on, so very important. You will see some drivers go out on the medium tyre. Zenix Josh there just updating on the graphic as he's heading out on the medium tyre there, so certainly looking to play a little bit of strategy. Dan Murphy retiring instantly before we've even left the pit lane. Very, very interesting indeed. And so riding on board with the first car out, the Haas driver making his way through the first sector, and it is a very trippy little sector. If you do run the curb a little bit too much, you will soon find yourself off into the distance. Now we're going to ride on board with Optics. He takes the lead at the minute while the Haas driver has a little bit of a scour around and looks where the track limits are. And obviously this is just an outlap, getting the tyres in the right window for each individual driver. Optics personal friend, so hopefully he will have a good run this evening. Now I've just bigged him up, I'm sure he'll probably tell me off because Commentator's curse. We'll probably see him in a wall before turn 2 on his hot lap. But no, seriously, good luck, and he's looking for the limits already. I'm sure he's listening as well. So then the Red Bull back to the original livery as well, as the update has just hit us today. So a lot of these guys are diving on early to make sure the update is done in time. I'm going to ride on board with Optics as he will set the initial pace if he can keep a clean lap. So exiting the final corner, always really good to keep a nice tight line in, and DRS open as we cross the line to start the lap. 195, 196 mile an hour down to the first corner. It is a little bit of a trick corner. Follow it all the way through to turn 2, hard right, and just keep within track limits. Very nicely done there by Optics. He tries to thread it through the S section to lift a little bit there. Morning with a light. Just a little bit of oversteer from the car. And very well recovered in the second part there. And a little bit of a correction, but he's still on his way, and it'll treat this as a banker lap. It's just as important, and as he takes a trip across the grass, so yeah, we won't see that as a lap. That is a yellow flag for the time being, and well, we'll leave the Red Bull driver to it for the time being. I'm sure he'll give me what for a little bit later on. Keep your eyes on the chat, feel free to comment and say hello. Always good to speak to new people. So, and the next one on track on a lap at the minute. Let's ride on board. Optics getting well out of the way there, which is very good. All drivers normally fairly good at keeping out of the way of those on qualifying laps. So we head round Spoon, and very nice and tidy. Can he get a nice exit? Yes, he can. Not using much run-off curb there. Some people think it hinders you to run the curb, but personally, I like to run the curb on the exit. So we head down to 130R and into the final sequence of corners. The Casio triangle. So we head round turn 18 to 19 and final turn 20 flat as the power's right down to go across the line, keeping in the initial pace of 131.3. Right, let's see who we can pick up a little bit further back. Looks like we've got a Alpine a little bit further back. Is it Casey? It certainly is. Casey just coming up to the line now. DRS wide open and a 140.6, not representative lap, so we expect to see much more in the laps to come. Pro Stevie on the lap, just coming up to the line, and we'll just clip him at the end there. 129.7, so very good lap there for Pro Stevie, and good to see him back racing once again as he's just pipped by the Alpha driver of Don Arjun. 129.3, so these times really starting to tumble as drivers starting to make their way around. We've got the two McLarens coming around. We're going to pick up one of them. We're going to pick up Viper, who's just heading on that lap. Kimi has posted a time of 133.1. Back end of the pace setters at the minute. KXI there jumping up to third in the Ferrari. Had a very good season last time out for season 8. Can he replicate it in season 9? Maybe Ferrari can get a little bit higher in the points on this occasion. And teammate there getting well out of the way for Viper on his qualifying run. And, doesn't seem to be a blistering lap from what I can see, but we'll carry on riding on board with Viper through the next sector. Now, Viper isn't normally one for one lap speed, but his consistency does pay off to chip away at the points. He's normally in the back end of the points every race, nice and consistent, and over a season, consistency can really build up to a good final standing at the end of the season. 12 races in this particular season, so we'll be ending in the new year as well. So you can join us every Monday night at 8 PM. There's a little bit of traffic here for Viper to deal with on the last part of the lap. Hopefully traffic will get well out of the way. Yeah, there we go, the hash well out of the way there. And driver in front looks like KXI will be peeling into the pits, we believe, as Viper comes round to cross the line. What is his initial time? 131.9. Just pipping his teammate there, but actually, I say pipping, 1.2 seconds quicker than his teammate for the time being, so quite a good margin. So next, Josh there, improving a 130.2 for the time being for the Alpine driver. Alpine got quite a strong team with Josh and Casey. Casey on his representative lap as we speak. Just in the second sector at the minute. Sector 1 yellows. Please be aware the yellow flag does keep flashing up. Please bear with it. It is drivers majority of the time getting out of the way. If we do see an incident, we will report it as quick as possible. Please bear with me. Obviously 20 drivers on track can be quite hard to keep up with on certain occasions. As we see, Optics as well has just started his lap. Let's see if he can get a valid one in on this particular occasion. Currently riding on board with Casey Jennett then. heading down through Sector 3. Nice long straight, maximising all the speed in that Alpine. We are on equal car performance for the season, so there is no advantage being in a Mercedes to being in a Haas. See, Case just a little bit of wheel spin in that last sector, and 130.7, so half a second off his teammate for the time being. Just riding board with one of the Ferraris, and we're not really riding board with Ferrari yet. KXI on a 130.0, just got heading back out again. His teammate on a 132.1. Let's see if this is a more representative lap for yeah boy Bison. Now I believe he's one of the newer drivers to the league, or perhaps a Division 2 driver last season out that might have been promoted. Not 100% sure who is in the Division 2, but welcome on board to Division 1, and I hope you have some good luck with us. So we head round the final corner. Let's see what the final time is. Certainly looking quicker than his last attempt, and it certainly is a 130.8 there, jumping into the top 10. What are we? A 129.3 at the top. Then Bill's gone on a 129.5 in the Mercedes, so putting a good challenge on for pole position. Where are it? Optics is coming. In fact, I think he has just completed a lap. Yes, he certainly has. I am Zach there in the Aston Martin, just pipping to the top on a 129.1 in the Aston Martin. Good work there by Zach, and good to see you back on track. Who else have we got then? We've got KXI just coming up to the line. He is on a outlap. We have got Spencer. Where is the other? Who is that just behind? I believe it is one of the Alpines. It is probably Casey Jennett. It certainly is Casey coming over to the line. Was he on a hot lap? No, he's not at the moment. He's just heading onto one. And Williams driver there as well has already completed a lap. Right, where's the McLaren's? Viper then coming around the final lap. No, he is peeling off. One of the Red Bulls there, I think that is Jimmy, coming over the line, set his first initial pace. And in fact a 2:01, so he'll be going again. That might have just been a double warm-up lap for him, so we'll ride on board with the Red Bull driver. And as we have a bit of spin there, that is what the curbs can do, certainly pull you in. It's not the only curb that can cause a spin in Suzuka, and well, we certainly will see many more of those as the evening goes on, I'm sure. I'm Zach. Looks like he's almost pushing on again. No, in fact, no, I've just looked at the time, definitely not. Bills then, is he peeling into the pits? We'd expect, yes he is. Who else have we got on a lap? KXI, is he on another lap? Yes, he is 4 tenths quicker than his previous time so far, so we'll see what his time is looking like at the end of this sector as he comes over the sector cut-off point. There you go, he goes purple, half a second quicker so far than anyone else. This is an absolute rapid lap here by KXI. If he can hook up these last few corners. Can he get the power down? Very clean on the power. Can he hook it up? Get the DRS open nice and early. And 129.2, 1/10 off pole there. Good attempt by the Ferrari driver. And he's got time to go again if he does wish. Now then, Jim Pierce is on his potentially in lap to put a new set on after the instant Vittoria. A bit of a shame, we saw him do some absolutely amazing performances last season in the Alfa Romeos. Hopefully we'll see that once again this season. So we ride on board with one of the Haas duo, Delonish. I do apologise if I pronounce your name wrong. Believe again new to the league, so nice to have you with us, and we'll see what you're capable of this evening. A minute 130.9. But let's see if he's improving as he comes through Spoon Corner. Certainly trying to carry the most speed he can there and get the power down as quick as he can. So he runs up towards 130R. He's coming towards sector time. Let's see where his time is. And he's 500ths of a second quicker than he's gone so far. So a slight improvement there. What can he do in this last sector? That is right on track limits, but he got away with it on this occasion. A little bit, he hasn't got that stability in the car, but he does improve his time ever slightly, a 130.5, 3/10 improvement there. Right on board with one of the Williams drivers to then, Silky Coating. Again, another new driver to to myself. He is on an invalid lap, in fact, so what we'll do is we'll catch up with someone else for the time being and catch up with him a little bit later on. So next, Josh then on hot lap, trying to see if he can improve on his 1:30.2, see if he can move up the order. Quite competitive time so far, but I'm sure he'll want to get in those 1:29s. Can he break it on this lap? No, he can't. He's got an invalid lap, in fact. So again, we'll catch up later. Pro Stevie, is he on the lap at the minute? So it looks very, very slow. Yeah, that's certainly not a qualification style lap that he's on at the minute. Charlie in Japan then, in the Mercedes. Let's follow around. Currently on a 1:31.3. I'm sure he'll be able to improve if he, well, puts his foot down. We all say it's as simple as that. I'm sure we all try and do it in our road cars. But I can assure you it certainly is anything but simple. From actually keeping your concentration for the entirety of this, to learning every curve, hitting the apex each time, and to your setup. Your setup is absolutely crucial. These drivers will practice and practice and practice. I practice and practice and practice. But everyone's setup will be slightly different to what feels good to them. And that really can make all of the difference. Charlie in Japan just having a little bit of a wobble there, but kept it stable. Got the power down nice and early still, so we'll follow him round for the final part of the lap. Is he up at the end of sector 2? He's no, he's 7/10 slower than what he's done so far, so he's quite a way off the pace, so I don't think he'll be improving on this particular lap. Let's just see him through this final sector. And yeah, he peels into the pit lane there as he's not improving. Okay, next up then, I will jump on board with Kimi instead. No, Kimi is on out lap. So Viper then, 3 minutes 49 left in this session. Not long left to go. Time really does fly when you're having fun. But riding on board with the McLaren of Viper, he's got a bit of work to do now. He's 6/10 behind the next car. And even if he can jump him, he's then got 9/10 on his current time to the car up the road from that. Your boy is busy, so let's see how we get on this evening. Got a little bit of traffic to deal with as well. I don't know if Jimmy is on a lap. No, he's on an out lap, so he's just going onto a lap now, so he shouldn't cause any problems for Viper as he comes across the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't on this occasion. Oh, no, apologies, he does by a 10th. My apologies. Okay, so who's that? We've got one of the Aston Martin. I think it's Zach just coming over the line. Can he improve on his current time? No, he does not. In fact, he's only just going onto his hot lap now, so we'll see what he can do. Xenix Josh then, is he on a lap at the minute? No, that's definitely not a lap at the minute, so we'll catch up a little bit later. Now then, Optics just coming through the first sector, and it's invalid. Yeah, track limits really are a challenge here. I'm Zach is retired from the session. I do believe that is an actual retirement on track due to an issue. It certainly looks like it. So he is out of the session and will not improve on 29.1. He has got provisional pole at this point. KXI is on a lap, however. So can he displace him? No, it certainly looks like he's backed off, in fact. So maybe he's warming up to another one. He's got 2 minutes to go. Okay, let's have a look. Who is on a lap? Hosty taking a little wild trip, just checking out the runoff areas, making sure he's got plenty of room on the first lap, I'm sure. Alex Hamlin, one of the quicker drivers, I'd expect, looking at the current grid and from what I've experienced previously. Used to see him drive in the Mercedes, but now firmly in the AlphaTauri seat for the season. So we ride on board through very fast sector 2, and just getting that corner right can make or break a lap, and it is a place you can easily lose a couple of tenths by getting the back end out of line, but very nicely taken. And Pro Stevie there getting well out of the way of the AlphaTauri as we head down to Spoon Corner. Try and be as late as possible on the brakes and hook in on the apex, run it all the way out, hook it back into the next apex and put the power down, off you go. That is it, very nicely done there by Alex Ham. And rounding the final corner then, can he improve on his current time of 1:29.7? He does. He 2/10 quicker there, 1:29.5. Now then, we're getting down to the last part of qualification. Hosty does pit and bails from his lap. Who else have we got on lap? KXI, where are we? Just starting a lap and we'll catch up soon. And as we just jump on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, 1:28.8, blowing it out of the park, 3/10 quicker than Zach has managed, and Zach has retired, who cannot improve. KXI is the next nearest challenger, 4/10 back. Is he on a better lap? Well, we'll have to see as he comes up towards the line. McLaren, who's that? Just gone into the pit lane, that's fine. Right, let's have a look. KXI come down to Spoon Corner. A little bit of traffic in front. Looks like the Alpine well out of the way there. Zenix Josh getting well clear of the Ferrari. The checker flag is now out, so this is the final chance for improvements for these drivers. We're going to keep an eye on the board. Going to keep an eye on KXI here as he tries to pick up a little bit of the slipstream from the Haas. And he is a 10th faster so far. Can he find anything in this final sector to jump up the order? Very nicely taken through the final chicane and down towards the line. Does he improve? He certainly does. A 1:29.1 displays the Aston Martin. Gets on the front row but can't quite take pole position. Who else is on a lap at the minute? Is Bill's on a lap? No, he's on an invalid lap. Pro Stevie looks like he's backed off. Spencer Milton is on a lap coming around the last few corners. As he comes down across the line, can he improve on a 1:30.2? A little bit of traffic there, 1:29.4, boosts him up into the top 5. Both Alpha Tauris running 5th and 6th after the checkered flag. Bill's is invalid. And Charlie in Japan just coming over the line and takes a checkered flag at 1:31.3. That is it then, we don't expect to see any more changes. That is qualifying over as fast as that. 18 minutes qualifying, the extra couple of minutes there, so about 20 minutes absolutely flown by. And race 1 of the season. See, Bill's there without a front wing, maybe that was his issue on that final attempt for glory of pole position. But the first race of the season and qualifying comes to an end then. Don Arjun has taken pole position in the Alfa Romeo 1:28.8 and a dominant pole position at 3/10 clear of KXI in the Ferrari, and I am Zach in the Aston Martin in P3. We'll see full classification in a moment. We're just waiting on Bill's car to be popped on the high stands, and there we are. It will follow through. We'll see full classification of the qualifying results in a couple of moments' time. And then bear with us for the race, which will start in a couple of minutes. There we are, full classification then. So great day at the office for Alpha Tauri, taking P5 and P6 there. Aston Martin P3, P8. So these guys are all looking for the constructors' points as well as drivers, and new season, so they want to get off the mark well. Now, quite interesting, Bills and Hosty there are going to start on the medium tyre, so may not be quite as quick. However, they have got the advantage in terms of they can go for a long stint at the start of this Grand Prix. However, the likelihood of a safety car is rather high around this Suzuka circuit, and I'd certainly expect one within the first lap or two, if I'm completely honest. First race of the season, we know they can be messy. Anyone watching, I know there's, what we've got, 10, 11 watching at the minute. Feel free to drop a message. Any bets on who we think could come out on top at the end of this Grand Prix? A little bit of a wild card at this moment in time, though. So we've got about 30-second wait now as the countdown timer starts, while the drivers just get a chance to look at their fuel loads, final look through their strategies, and make the calls they need. We will also have a formation lap just before we go into the Grand Prix, so we're just going to have a moment or two as we spectate the front few cars going around on the formation lap on the parade. There we are then, all set ready for the race, so we'll just let the drivers head off. lead driver doesn't want to pull away too much as the back markers are only just getting away from the grid now. 2 McLarens already disqualified from the session. Now that isn't a full disqualification. I do apologise, there might be a lack of screen there for 30 seconds. Yeah, it isn't a full disqualification, it is just from this formation lap, and I presume it will be due to a collision. So the teammates starting together, they want to be a little bit easier than that in the race, certainly don't want to be costing themselves any potential points. So 27 laps of Susuka, those starting on the soft tyre, probably able to go around 9 laps, maybe 10 laps. If there is an early safety car, expect to see them in potentially a 2-stop onto a medium soft strategy. We'll certainly see how this pans out in a couple of moments' time. There you go, Pro Stevie just asking for a link there, so I've just sent that through for him. So he can watch on board if he does fancy this evening. I know a few drivers like to watch it back, see what action they have missed. Bear in mind it is quite hard for me to keep up with all the action, especially with a full grid, but I'll certainly do my best. But a few drivers do also use it to see what's going on around them. Obviously these guys can't see everything, they can only see a car or two around them. So they do sometimes tune in just to see what else is going on up and down the order. And also for strategy reasons, some of these will be able to hit the strategy that others are up to. Zenix Josh getting a late disqualification out, and Spencer probably, I would presume, messing around between them two drivers. No love lost between them two. There we go then, just taking the formation then. So we're going to ride on board a little bit further back in the field as we just wait for the green flag to start this Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, race 1 of DFRL Season 9, Susuka. 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 lights. Lights out and away we go. And very good reaction there from Spencer Milton in the AlphaTauri on the outside, being pushed by Zenix Josh straight away. And as we head up into turn 1, is it all nice and clean? Whoa. Can't see anyone off the track at this moment in time. There is a Mercedes off. Charlie in Japan is already out of this Grand Prix. I'm not sure what happened there. He was down towards the back of the grid. Dan Murphy gaining the place, and Casey Jennett down 7 places just off those opening couple of corners there. A little battle going on for the lead already. KXI managed to jump into the lead of the Grand Prix in the Ferrari, but certainly being chased down already by the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin right on the tail there. These guys are going to be very, very close indeed for these first few laps as we ride on board with the Alfa Romeo. Can he do anything into this next hairpin? No, he can't at the minute. I'm sure he'll be lining the Ferrari up for later in the race. Who is that who's had a little spin? It looks like Kimi in the McLaren had a little bit of spin under the bridge. And Alfa Romeo just having a little bit of a look there on the Ferrari driver as we head into Spoon. But nothing to do at the minute, and he'll just be buying his time, maybe into the chicane coming up. He's certainly getting very close to the Ferrari. We're riding on board. Can he do anything into the final couple of corners? He tried to brake late and go around the outside. Does he manage to pull it off? And KXI there, running the inside, struggling to keep the lead, however. And these guys really going for it wheel to wheel, bringing the Aston Martin of Zach into contention just behind. We're going to ride on board to watch this battle from the rear. And KXI there just having to bail out, and we're back to the order we started in for these top 3, and I think this is going to be an absolutely mighty battle just from the off there. Now we're going to catch up a little bit further down the grid. Optics down 9 places to 19th. He is in the pit lane at the minute, so not quite sure what's happened. I'm going to presume it'll be a front wing change at this moment in time. not ideal. And the Red Bull driver's certainly got some work to do now. He'll be home for a safety car. These guys in front definitely not looking for a safety car though. Aston Martin and Zach having a bit of a lunge there, and certainly didn't work out for him. He's going to come under pressure now as well. Zenix Josh managed to slip through, and Alex Ham there and Spencer Milton in the AlphaTauri still running 5th and 6th. They have inverted positions, but they're closing up, and virtual safety car is out on track. Wow, what an opening couple of laps we've just had. That, my voice is going already. Wow. These guys at the front, so close, an absolutely fantastic race. So while we've got the virtual safety car out, won't be out for long. Let's have a look at the winners and losers. Well, the top 8 only moving a couple of places. Corby gaining 4 places on the opening lap there. Pro Stevie down 3. Your boy Bison up 3. 6 places gained for Jimmy PSV, starting at the back of the grid this evening. Viper up 3. Dan Murphy up 5 from last position. Casey Jennett loses 6 places. Kimmy is still in 18th where he started, and Optics there down 9 places due to what we believe a slight incident, and this is really not helping him now being a virtual safety car. He would have wanted this to be a full safety car, as Casey Jennett 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. Not what he wanted at all, taking advantage. DRS enabled as the track goes green once again, and these guys are going to go back at it straight away. I'm Zach there trying to hook right on the back of the Alpine of Zenix Josh as we go through the fast left-hander, and now we're getting to a little bit of a technical area of the track, and Zenix Josh having a moment there. The Aston Martin going into the back of him. I don't think he's taken any wing damage, luckily, but he does go down the inside of the Alpine as the Alpine takes the cutback, and a brilliant recovery there by Zenix Josh, and now under pressure from the AlphaTauri. He's coming up behind, although Zach has now got his foot down. He's got a little bit of pace and going back after the Alpine of Josh. Absolutely a great restart by these guys. Zach a little bit unlucky, getting a little bit of a slide on there. Zenix Josh not needing a second invitation as he headed through, but the Aston Martin here coming back at the Alpine as we head into 130R and down to the final chicane. Can he do anything? He's going to be late on the brakes, and in fact touches the back of the Alpine there. Tries to go round and down the inside, but surely can't get the drive, and yeah, that was a little bit of hope there. And is he going to lose another place here? Spencer certainly got better drive, Spencer there, and it's got DRS. Both cars up with DRS, and who's going to be later on the brakes? No, very even there on the brakes, and all behaved for the time being. This battle is quite intense as out front the Alfa Romeo 8/10 clear of KXI. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. It's now been cleared. I think that's just going to be someone running slightly off the track. These guys certainly not letting up for the time being. 4/10 separating them for the final step on the podium. Very, very early on in this race, as we see, but a lot of action happening up and down the grid. Right on board with this battle at the moment. We will try and catch up with a few other drivers a little bit in a little while. And again, pressure's on, and the Alpine of Zenix Josh is round. Did he get a clip there by Zach? Couldn't quite see as we were riding on just behind, but the Alpine driver now jumped all the way down to 12th place, and I think he's now recovered and back on track there. Wow. Now then, the other Aston Martin, Hosty, on the medium tyres. We said he was going to go long. Is he coming into his own now? 4 laps into this race. Soft Runner's taking the best out of the tyres already in qualifying. Run them a few laps, and now the mediums will slowly start coming in. So for Bills and Hosty, they are now going to try and work their way through the order a little bit, as fastest lap's been set left, right and centre. KXI 132.5. Any tops on that? Not at the minute. Jimmy PSV at 132.1. Dan Murphy, and it is just lighting up the timing screens at the moment. So we get a little bit stationary now as these drivers all driving within a couple of tenths of each other. Yellow flag in sector 2. It is one of the is it a Mercedes there? No, it is Casey Jennett once again in trouble, and right down the back of the grid, and gets overtaken there by Kimmy and Optics. A little mini battle at the back, but certainly some way off the pace at the moment. These guys all been in a little bit of trouble at the start of this Grand Prix, and well, we'll see how long it takes them to catch up. Maybe a safety car will work in their favour, or perhaps they can go long on this set of tyres. See Bill's there having a little look down the inside of the Aston Martin. Can he get a better drive? He's certainly looking at it. Can he do anything down into Spoon Corner? These guys getting oh so close. And no, can't quite do it yet. Just run out of room. Very nicely placed by Hosty. And round they go once again. He's going to try and get a little bit of slipstream up in towards 130. He has got the slipstream. He's going round the outside, and he's going to get this move done rather early. There we are. Very nicely done by Bills. He moves up into P5 there. Aston Martin knocked down a place and running in 3rd and 6th. Aston Martin at the minute. Still good result. Pending a finish, and looking at his positions, new fastest lap once again. Nice little view through the halo there as riding board with the Aston Martin. Hosty coming back at Bills with DRS assistance, and I think he's got the job done there. And well, Bills just trying to come back there, not quite managing it on this occasion, but absolutely fantastic driving from these drivers. Now all this battling ahead has allowed the Red Bull of Jimmy to close the gap up. Sector 1 yellow flag once again, and is going again. No, it's not. It is one of the Haas drivers. It is Pro Stevie that has had a little bit of an off, but he is going again, and both Haas now tracking around together in P13 and 14 for the time being. Okay then, Bills now trying to have a look. The medium tyres definitely in the zone now. These soft runners certainly needing to think about their first pit stop. And there we are. There's the tyres that people are on at this current moment in time. Now for the top 10, Bills and Hosty were the only two to start the race on the medium tyre. However, Jimmy and Dan Murphy there making their way up into the top 10. They did start on the medium tyres. How long can the medium runners go? How long can these soft runners go that started on the soft tyre? We'll have to keep an eye out. We've got a few penalties as well down the back end of the order. We'll try and catch up with penalties in a few moments' time, but we'll ride on board again with this battle as these guys, there's now a 4-way tussle for 4th place. They're all going to have DRS and sat in a little bit of a train, so there is a sitting duck in the way of Hosty at the front. Bill's trying to have a little look too far back. Yeah, all these drivers are a little bit too far back. Spencer Milton jumping into the pit lane there and releasing the next Josh. Let's have a look at penalties then. So Silky Coating there, 5-second penalty. Casey Jennett 5 seconds. We know his was for speeding in the pit lane. Silky Coating most likely for the same. And Kimmy has got 6 seconds. That'll be 3 seconds for disobeying the track limits and abusing the track limits a little bit there. You get 2 warnings. 3rd strike, you'll get 3-second penalty. So he's had at least 6 strikes on that occasion. As we say that, your boy's Bison picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting infringements, and these guys really are battling again up here. Bill's now going after Hosty once again. Can he do anything on this occasion down to Spoon? No, he can't. Just a little bit too far back. Not really a corner to pass into. Always good to get slipstream out. Can he get a better drive than the Aston Martin? Certainly got a better drive. Yellow flag in sector 2, and it looks like a few cars backed up there. This could be absolutely crucial. Can he be late on the brakes? No, he's just lifted slightly to back out of that battle, and very sensibly indeed. Right, what have we got going on? This is closest battle on track at the minute. Jimmy PSV right behind in the Red Bull as well, as they're all sat in DRS. Hosty a little bit of a sitting duck as Bills goes around the outside, and there goes Jimmy PSV following through. Not 1 but 2 places lost there. That is how powerful the DRS is, and safety car comes out at that point. I think it's showing Jimmy should be in front there of the Aston Martin. Very, very interesting. 5-second time penalty there for the Haas driver, Delonish. That's for speeding in the pit lane, and a lot of these guys now heading on into the pits. Right on board with our leader, and he's had a great race. Had to work for it, certainly very hard in this opening section, but has the lead right now. Now I'd expect everyone on the soft tyres to be heading into the pits at this moment in time. Let's keep an eye on it. Yeah, so everyone from P11 downwards has already stopped. Who's going to stop again? Casey Jennett in the pits once again. And we're going to have a look at what tyres these guys are going on to. But soft runners we're certainly expecting to pit lane. Who's in the pits at the minute? Still Casey in the pits. Now I believe he had a 5-second time penalty, so he would have had to serve that before any work was done to the car. It does look like he's now rolling towards the back end as you see one of the McLarens head into the pits. I think that is Kimmy there, just coming over the start finish line. In fact, he hasn't gone into the pits, and yes, he is going down the main straight. Okay then, is our leader peeling off into the pits? He certainly is. So is KXI from second place. Zach peeling in as well. The question is, what are these guys going to do? Bill's on the medium tyre heading into the pits. It is a cheap pit stop, but I'm very surprised on the medium tyres. Dan Murphy opting to stay out on his medium tyres and take lead of this Grand Prix. Now he has come from the back of the grid, so really, really impressive. Obviously, he is getting a lot of cheap places here. He has still got to stop, but if he can make a one-stop work, he could see himself in a very good position. However, these hard runners will be able to go to the end of the Grand Prix now, as we see the Alfa Romeos now 1 and 2 on track. So Alfa Romeo sitting very, very pretty, and maybe a little teamwork together could see an absolutely fantastic result for them this evening. So and Dan Murphy from 20th on the grid up to first place, but still yet to stop. 8 lap hold, medium tyres for the time being. Don Argent took pole position and now is second on the road. However, he has already stopped, and those hard tyres can be carried through to the end of the Grand Prix. So sitting pretty up at the front there. KXI gone for the medium tyre. Does he think he can take to the end? We'll have to see. I think it's a big ask. Maybe he's betting on another safety car later on, where he can put another set of the medium tyre or another set of softs on to go to the end of the Grand Prix. I'm Zach there in the Aston Martin in 4th place, also on fresh hard tyres. Bill's on hard tyres to the end. Jimmy PSV gone for the soft tyre. Very, very surprised to see that. So he's now committed to a 2-stop race. Soft tyre certainly won't go to the end of the Grand Prix. New set of softs might go around 10 laps. So I'm sure we'll see him come in around lap 19-20 for a final set of soft tyres. He did start on the medium, so medium soft would certainly be the go-to at this point. Spencer Milton then, medium tyres, and well, the AlphaTauri driver started in 6th, now in 7th, so just about holding his own for the time being. Hosty in P8 there, second of the Aston Martin. Silky in P9 is the lead Williams at this moment in time. So next Josh in the Alpine in P10, splitting the 2 Williams there. Your boy Bizon in P12 in the Ferrari. Good job from what I've seen. I believe it's the first time I've seen you race, so well done. And Ferrari in 3rd and 12th at the minute. I'm sure he's got some work to do and has an opportunity to get a little bit further up in the order. Some people ahead on the soft tyres have committed themselves to another stop yet. Viper there in the McLaren, making up a few places on that first stint. Now 10 laps into the Grand Prix, 17 to go, so a lot can still happen in this Grand Prix. Alex Ham there in the AlphaTauri, probably one of the bigger losers in that opening phase of the race, down 8 places from where he started. He was back to back with his teammate and has now lost out a little bit. And both Haas drivers running P15 and 16. Well, that's very conventional to what we see day to day, week in, week out on the real life track. Hopefully these guys can find some pace in the next part of the Grand Prix to work their way up towards the back end of the points and beyond. Casey Jennett down there, one of the biggest losers so far. Really, luck has not gone his way so far in this Grand Prix. The safety car has certainly brought him back in contention. I believe he has gone to fresh mediums, and he has. So maybe he can carry him through to the end. He's normally very good on his tyres, so we'll see what he can do. And Kimmy there at the very back of the grid. He hasn't actually changed position still yet in this Grand Prix. Currently running last and currently out optics in the Red Bull, and Charlie in Japan in the Mercedes. So we've got a wide range of strategies going on now. So we've got a mixture of soft, medium and hard runners. Hard runners, we would expect to see all those guys on the hards go to the end of the Grand Prix. A couple of those on the new mediums might try their luck, but I would certainly think their tyres are going to be running out a little bit of life and not just falling but diving off the cliff come lap 22, 23, and the hards will come in. Race control saying that the safety car is in this lap, riding on board, and all the guys bunching up together. There they go. Two Alfa Romeos going to try and make a good start. Can they keep 1-2 at the end of this first straight? KXI there right on the back then, trying to close that gap as he comes under pressure from I'm Zach behind and Bills, and this is going to be absolutely mad into turn 1. All looks very, very clean at this moment in time. No, very clean through turn 1 for all the drivers. See the Red Bull there getting right on the back of this battle, but no one able to make an inroads yet. Jimmy here is on the fresh soft tyres. He will go for a soft we expect at this point, but he needs to really make inroads with these tyres now, because these guys in front do not need to stop again other than our race leader Dan Murphy. So he's got to go and find a full lap as we've got yellows in sector 3. That is Kimmy DNF'd on the main straight there. I think that might have been retirement in the pit lane as we see the Red Bull driver go down the inside. Great move, just running the Mercedes off the track a little bit there. A little bit naughty, but Bill's getting a 3-second time penalty for that. I think that might be inquired by the stewards a little bit later on after the race, but for the time being Bill's down into 6th as Jimmy makes his way through. Alright, and Jimmy making another move and having a look at Zach as well. These soft tyres he is certainly making the most of now as he absolutely flies by the Aston Martin and up into 4th place. He needs to make this strategy work. He has committed himself to another stop in this Grand Prix. Question is, how much further up this order can he get before he loses his tyres? Well, he's certainly putting the pressure on, and he's now on the back of KXI in the Ferrari, next driver up. And he's so much later on the brakes, just closing that gap every time he hits a corner. Just keep an eye on a few battles on track as well. P7, P8, a couple of tenths in it there. As we've got your boy Bizant there, looks like he's on a bit of a charge. There's a 3-way battle here. Corby, a little bit of a cork in the bottle at the minute in the Williams. The Ferrari and AlphaTauri drivers right behind, really trying to make the most of it, and Corby really is making a cork out of this. He's dropped 2 seconds to the car in front, and these guys really don't want to be hanging on behind. So, see, AlphaTauri having a little bit of a moment there, maybe. And Ferrari driver not able to do anything at the minute. Corby has got a little bit more grip on the medium tyres, but your boy Bizant will have the hard tyres to the end and might be able to capitalise later on this race, so I'm sure he'll be playing it safe at this moment in time. A little bit of battle going on down behind the Haas driver, trying to make inroads, and as Viper there catches the inside curb and round he goes at Spoon Corner, and Pro Stevie saying thank you very much. Casey as well going through, and now going for a run on Pro Stevie into 130R. Can't quite do it now. Will he do it into this last chicane? I don't think he's quite brave enough, but he will pick up DRS enabled yet. No, it isn't. Another lap, so he's not going to get DRS on this lap, but he's looking for a good exit. Didn't quite get it on that occasion, but a little bit of slipstream off the Haas driver in front. Can Casey do anything into turn 1? A little bit too far back on this occasion. He'll be waiting for DRS next time around. Okay, then back at the top, we'll see Alex Ham there get past Corby in the midfield. I'm Zach now chasing after the pack. Jimmy has got up to P3 in the meantime and chipping away. Sector 1 yellow flag. Who is that? Is that Spencer? Yes, it is. Spencer is around. Has he taken damage there? Because he's gone into the wall. Just try and pick up. Where is the AlphaTauri driver? He is there. It doesn't look like he's got any damage to the front wing. Sometimes you can't quite see it though, and he is lost a lot of places, so unlucky for the AlphaTauri driver. Would love to hear from anyone that might know what's going on there. Right, back on board. Jimmy is now closing the gap once again to the Alfa Romeos at the front. He's still got a pit stop to go. These soft tyres are going to be wearing thin very, very quickly. What can he do? He's looking for DRS here down the main straight. He's well within the activation zone, but he might get it done well before the first straight, and he certainly does. Straight down the inside of Don Arjun and through. He gets DRS as well, so he's going to close that gap up to Dan Murphy, our interval race leader, who is yet to stop, as is Jimmy. So these guys will be going neck and neck for the back end of this Grand Prix, we expect. Dan Murphy now on 14-lap-old medium tyres compared to Jimmy's 6-lap-old tyres. So quite a big difference there, and he is reeling them in pretty quick now. Pro Stevie making moves behind in the Haas, by the way, on your boy Bizant. Just closing up to the back of him, so we'll keep an eye on that time delta in a moment. See the Red Bull just a little bit heavy on the curb there, and a little bit late on the brakes, but went purple in that first sector. Pro Stevie having a little bit of a look, we believe, on the Ferrari. Ferrari just picking up a point at the minute, the back end of the points. But can the Haas driver do anything through Spoon? He can't. A little bit of lock up there from the Ferrari, so it seemed, as we follow him round again. Must say, for a first race of the season, seems to be pretty good racing and fairly clean up and down the field. So far, so good, guys. Well done. Let's keep it going. And if the season has racing like this, well, what season we are in for. So we've got a battle going on here for the final point as it stands. We're now on lap 14, halfway through this Grand Prix. Can the Haas driver do anything into the final couple of corners? No, but he's right on the back of your boy Bizant. And Pro Stevie there, going to get DRS down the main straight. He didn't get the best exit, but he's picking up speed now, closing down the Ferrari, and not much Ferrari can do at this moment in time as the Haas driver sails past up into 10th place for the time being. Alex Ham just ahead then, just closing on Zenix Josh as well. So we'll keep an eye on it, although he's backed off ever so slightly. Casey Jennett in the background in the Alpine. Not had a great race so far. Safety car brought him back into contention, and now he's really trying to push on and get up the field a little bit, as he's trying to put the pressure on the Williams of Corby, and he's going to have a little look into right-hander. Is he going to do it? No, surely not. There we go. He does back out. Very, very sensible indeed. Sector 1 yellow flag again. It's been cleared very, very quickly. Not sure who that was. It looked like the Aston Martin Hosty, in fact, it might have been on that occasion. But again, another battle here, and your boy Bizan now a little bit of a cork in the bottle. Pro Stevie starting to pull away. If your boy Bizan can't get DRS off him, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble with these guys behind. There we go, yeah, and Pro Stevie there just about breaking DRS, and we're going to go back up the front of the field for a bit. Alex Ham there trying to make a move on Zenix Josh, and we pick it up just at the right time as he tries to go around the outside, and yeah, nothing. Oh, he gets hit from behind by Prestivi, and that has taken Zenix Josh out of this Grand Prix. Will that be a safety car at this stage? No, it's just hovering at yellow flag. I'm shocked, and Zenix Josh out of this Grand Prix. He's had a fairly good race all the way through, but getting a little bit unlucky there. I think he tried to come back on the track. He didn't really have anywhere else to go. I don't think he realised the Haas was planning on coming through, but he certainly had his sights set and knew what he wanted. But that might be under investigation by the race stewards after this Grand Prix. As you see Casey Jennett on the Ferrari now, trying to have a little bit of a look. Not quite yet. He's not going to be able to do it into this next sequence of corners, but he's going to try and keep close, I suspect, up towards the hairpin in a few corners' time. And the Alpine there getting a slightly better exit than the Ferrari driver as they head down into the hairpin, and right on the back of the Ferrari there for Casey. As a little bit of flick, and he heads round down to Spoon. Can he do anything late on the brakes? Certainly closing much quicker. Where's the Ferrari going to go? He's placed it on the racing line, so it makes it hard for the Alpine to try and make the apex, and those guys just a little bit of a love tap, but still nice and clean. And there he goes, Casey through, your boy Bizen down to 10th place. And he's going to lock onto the back there. We're going to ride on board still as we see Dan Murphy into the pits from the lead of the Grand Prix. So let's see where he does come back out on fresh tyres and what tyres he comes out on. Will the Ferrari driver now look for the DRS? He's certainly got DRS activated. I think he's a little bit too far back unless he has a lunge into turn 1. Let's ride on board. He's looking, he can't quite do it. It's just run out of road a couple 100 yards more and he would have had it, but he's going to have to settle for 9th place at the moment. Dan Murphy has rejoined with the new set of soft tyres. Spencer Milton picking up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And lead of this Grand Prix now to the Red Bull of Jimmy on those soft tyres. He made inroads very, very quickly after the safety car. He's got to utilise those soft tyres now. He's got clear air and really push on to get a gap. He has yet to stop again. He certainly won't be able to take those soft tyres to the end of this Grand Prix. What a race we're having. And your boy Bizen getting tracked down again by Pro Stevie. And, well, it's certainly getting close out there. Maybe those hard tyres aren't working as well as he would like, but those medium tyres surely coming to the end of their good life. Yellow flag in sector 2 it is. Spencer Milton, is he round? He's completely round, in fact. Yeah, that's not a well AlphaTauri, I'm afraid. And, yeah, front wing change there coming up for Spencer Milton. Not how he would have wanted to start the season. Jimmy has jumped into the pits as well to react, so he's reacted straight away there to Dan Murphy. Where will he come out in relative? That releases KXI and the Ferrari into top spot for the time being. I'm Zach in P2, Bills in P3. I'm Zach and Bills can go to the end of this Grand Prix. So can Don Arjun in P4. KXI, will he need to stop again? Well, let's see. Where Jimmy has come out ahead of Dan Murphy and by quite a few places. He's got Pro Stevie and your boy Bizen between them there, so he's got a little bit of a safety net as well. And now Ryan on board with the Aston Martin of I Am Zach, closing down the KXI, which could potentially be for the win. And these guys, now the hard tyre will slowly come into its own over the next couple of laps. We've got 10 laps left to go over this Grand Prix. My 2/3 of the way there into the pit. Spencer Milton for a front wing change and Viper for his pit stop onto medium tyre. Spencer opting for the soft tyre for this last stint. Hosty has been into the pits in the Aston Martin, dropped him down to 11th place on the soft tyre. And off we go. This is going to be a shootout of the new fresh soft tyres against those on the hard tyres. What is better? Is it better to have the speed or the track position? Well, we'll certainly find out in a few laps' time. Viper back on track. Spencer Milton now closing him down. I'm a bit unsure to why Viper's chosen the medium tyre there with only 8 laps left of the Grand Prix. Very strange call. Bill's closing down this battle for top spot. These guys within 6/10 of a second between first and third. Could penalties apply into it? Well, penalties at the minute. KXI in the lead with 3 seconds of penalties and Bills with 3 seconds in third place. I Am Zach currently sitting pretty and just hanging on in there. There we go, and I think KXI is now trying to keep these guys just at DRS range, but he's not going to be able to pull it away. And these guys on the hard tyres seem to be in a league of their own now. They really are getting better drive than the Ferrari. I do think it's a question of when, not if, they get by. So we'll ride on board. This is now the closest battle on track, and it is potentially for the race win, for race 1 of the season. And it's it's been an absolute corker up till now. There we are, Mercedes of Bills getting into the slipstream of the Aston Martin. They're all weaving around on the straight down into 130R. Who's going to try and make a move? Is I'm Zach going to try and make a move into the chicane? No, he isn't. Is the Mercedes? No, they're not. They're both going to have DRS. Who's going to come out on top? No one peeling into the pits. And the Mercedes using all the road there. Getting right on the back of the Aston Martin. 3 into 1 doesn't go, lads. And yeah, no, they're all a little bit too far back from KXI there, and DRS from Zach and Bill's cancelling each other out. Fastest lap going just behind as well to the Alfa Romeo of Don Argent, so he is on a charge in P4. Dan Murphy just got past Pro Stevie as well, so he's making his way back through the order now on his fresh soft tyres. He'll be chasing after Jimmy in the Red Bull. So currently Alfa Romeo looking very good, 4th and 7th for an opening race. Absolutely brilliant. Dan Murphy, last season's drivers champion, certainly looks to be on a charge right now on these fresh soft tyres. We'll keep an eye on him over the next few laps. Back to the top then, half second between each of the top 3, and again they're all going to try and bunch up, get that DRS down the main straight and see who can utilise it into turn 1. They're all just bearing their time. Remember, these guys have got to keep those tyres alive for another 8 laps, including the lap that we are on. We're on lap 20 of 27 in this Grand Prix. We've had 5 retirements so far. Hopefully we won't have any more, as Zach tries to make a move around the inside of KXI, and he makes it stick there. And the Mercedes there of Bills going really deep in and clipping the back of KXI. KXI not taking any damage off that, nor did Bills on this occasion, so luckily both drivers get away with that slight love tap. Zach now a sitting duck. KXI coming back at him, going to try and go round the outside. He certainly does. Can he keep it in track limits? He has, but the Aston Martin driver going back down the inside, and off he goes again. Bill's there having a little bit of a moment. So Zach takes the lead of this Grand Prix. KXI now in 2nd place, and Bills and Mercedes in 3rd. What a battle we have got here for this podium. I really would not want to call who's going to take a win. I would say it will be one of these 3, but likelihood of one of these 3 coming together? Well, we've seen a few little love taps. Hopefully we won't see any more than that. Great hard fair racing so far. Hopefully that's how it will stay. A little bit of wheel wobble there from Bills through the hairpin, and yeah, dropping a couple of tenths back now from KXI, as KXI also falls back. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is Casey Jennett once again on the medium tyre. Looks like it's just a little bit of spin, so he is on his way once again, just losing 1 place there to the Haas driver. And both Haas's now up in the top 10 and up for some points today, Haas. So well done to those drivers. I did say they'd be on the hunt after the safety car period, and they certainly are. Now then, is there a likelihood of any of these drivers pitting? Well, KXI on the medium tyre, I'm sure he's going to try and take it to the end. Pro Stevie in the Haas in P8, 13 lap old mediums. Can he take those to the end of this Grand Prix? It's a big ask. If he gets even a virtual safety car, I'm sure he'll be in to bolt a set of softs on. But right now we're focusing on this battle for the top spot. And what order are these 3 going to end up on the podium? Are they going to end up on the podium? As we see the Alfa Romeo of Don Arjun in the background starting to get ever closer. He was 7.5 seconds back. He's now 4.8 and closing it incredibly quickly on these guys. He is on exactly the same tyre, 12 lap old hard tyres as well. KXI is the only one on a different tyre on the mediums. Now, was that a mistake? Can he carry those medium tyres to the end of this Grand Prix? It really is a big ask. I would have gone for the hards myself, but I'm not the one driving that Ferrari. If he can hustle it to a podium position, I think he will do a great job. And there we are, using a little bit of ERS there, Bills, as we're trying to close back in on the Ferrari. There we are, your race leader. I am Zach then. Sitting pretty at the minute, but he has got pressure from behind, and I'm sure he's feeling it. He knows these guys are going to have DRS again in a few moments time. He's got to work out what he's going to do different this time to try and keep them from attacking him down into turn 1. Both drivers around 6/10 apart. KXI having a great drive off that final corner down to 4/10. He is in the DRS and the slipstream of the Aston Martin driver. Will he make a dive down into turn 1? He is having a look. He's just a little bit too far back on this occasion and can't quite hook into tight enough into that inside line. And for now, the Aston Martin stays on top. Up and down the field at the minute, everything's a little bit static. We're going to keep an eye on Dan Murphy there in P7 in the Alfa Romeo. Got the gap down to 1.1 to Alex Ham up ahead. Alex Ham on 13 lap old hard tyres against 5 lap old softs. Won't stand a chance when Dan Murphy does get there, especially if he does manage to get DRS. So Dan Murphy we'll keep an eye on, and we expect to see him moving up the order pretty swiftly and picking off another driver. After that it might get a little bit harder for the Alfa Romeo driver, but how far can he go in this Grand Prix? KXI then 4 tenths behind our leader. I'm Zach, and heading through Spoon once again and hooking up very, very nicely, tucking into the apexes, gets a very good drive there. Both drivers in fact getting fairly equal drives. The Ferrari getting in the slipstream of the Aston Martin, and once again just trying to tuck in behind, get the DRS activation for the main straight. Will he try a dive into this final sequence of corners? No, he won't for the time being. He's going to try and get the power down nice and early. Very nicely taken through the chicane. As he gets the power down, he is in the slipstream once again. DRS wide open. Here we go then. Bill's too far back to take advantage. Can the Ferrari do anything into turn 1? And he is right on the back of the Aston Martin, but still can't quite do anything. Great positioning by Zach there through those first couple of corners. And sector 1 we have a yellow flag. It is Viper in the McLaren. He is out of this Grand Prix. Safety car is out. There we go then, just what we wanted. Now then, this is going to liven up. We have got 4 laps remaining. Is anyone going to go for the soft tyre? Wow, oh wow, what an action pack we're having. If anyone does take the soft tyre now, yes, they are going to be extremely quick, but by the time the safety car comes in, you might get 1 lap, maybe 2 of race. I'd say 1 lap of racing, and that'll be that. So I think track position here is crucial. I can see the messages pinging off. Sorry I haven't been able to look at the penalties. Yeah, there are quite a few penalties, you are right there. Looking up and down, Bizon has absolutely loads of following. Your boy Bizon, they're currently in 12th place in the Ferrari. Let's have a ride on board with you. There he is, running number 2 there in the Ferrari, and has loads of support tonight on the YouTube live chat on the stream. So good to see support for drivers, so we like support all the way around the grid as well. But yes, he's kept a fairly stable race. He's had some good challenges, some he hasn't been able to hold, but he has made a move through the field, and great performance for first time getting to commentate on him this evening. We'll check back on him shortly. Okay, let's see what the leaders are up to. Has anyone boxed? No, they haven't, and unsurprisingly, although Alex Hamner in the AlphaTauri boxing off the hard tyre, he will surely go to the softs. But was it worth the risk? He's dropping from P7. Let's see how far down the order he goes. Will he be able to join in P? In fact, if he's only lost a positional, he's lost 2 positions there. On fresh softs, can he make it in 1 lap? I'm sure he could. 7 lap old soft tyres and 17 lap old mediums ahead. It could be a stroke of genius. Spencer Milton there in P13. Well, I'm sure he's going to be disappointed with himself for the race. I don't know what he got caught up in earlier on, or whether it was been under his own accord. But I'm sure he won't be happy to be down in 13th place this evening. And some of these guys that have bolted on the soft tyres, I'm sure will go for a fastest lap as well on the final lap. So we're on lap 25 of 27, just 3 laps remaining, including the lap that we are on. I don't think the safety car is going to stay out for that long with just 2 full laps to go. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see the safety car lap, just for the simple fact we are right towards the end of this Grand Prix. Who do we think is going to make a move? Well, I think Dan Murphy and Jimmy are the ones to watch here on the soft tyres, and I'm sure they're going to try and capitalise. Keeping those hard tyres in the window for temperatures is extremely hard at the best of times, but when they are 15 laps old, trying to keep the heat in them is going to be absolutely crucifying. And those guys weaving around trying to find temperature. The safety car has now gone ahead as we get up to the top of the field, ready to go racing once again. They're going to have 2 laps left of this Japanese Grand Prix. And we are away. How long is Zach going to take it? Is he going to take it right to the line? He has bolted. There he goes. Just on the crest onto the main straight. And Mercedes of Bill's looking down the inside there. And look at all these guys go. And the Alfa Romeo there looks like he's really trying to make a move. And, oh no, KXI has taken out Don Arjun. And that is a disaster for the Ferrari and Alfa Romeo there. And we see them jumping down. Hosty taking advantage and jumping up a few places. And going to try and take advantage now. Alex Hamill on those new soft tyres. Can he reel in those ahead on the used soft tyres? Sector 1 yellow flags. That is for the instant we've just rode on board with. And wow, that will certainly get looked at by the stewards later on. Casey Jennett in P12 in the Alpine has retired from this Grand Prix in the S section in Sector 1 and is out. Bills then chasing after a race victory. Zach just holding on at this moment in time. Bills has got a time penalty, bear in mind, so he could lose a lot of places here. And Jimmy right there behind as well with no penalties. Could see himself jump up into P2. These guys certainly don't want any more last minute penalties. Alex Ham up into P5 on those fresh set of soft tyres and come in within 0.5 of a second of Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy looking at making a move on Jimmy. And these guys all feathering it through the final couple of corners. They are now coming round the final corner for the penultimate time as they start the final lap of this Grand Prix. Who is going to be brave enough on the brakes to make a move on this final run down to turn 1? Everyone trying to have a little look. No one quite close enough on this occasion, and it stays as it is. Anyone going to make a move for the podium? Podium at the minute. I am Zach, still holding on to the lead of this Grand Prix. Bill's in second place on the hard tyre, getting chased down by the 3 on softs. Jimmy, Dan Murphy and Alex Ham. Hosting now joined the back of this battle, but maybe it is a little bit too late. I think Alex Ham here really looking to try and make a move on Dan Murphy in these closing stages. Alpha on Alpha, Alfa Romeo versus Alpha Tauri in the closing stages. Who's going to come out on top? Alpha Tauri driver, so much more grip there. And slightly better run off the hairpin as well. Are we going to see him come under pressure? Yellow flags in Sector 1. It is... Who have we got in Sector 1? It is one of the Alpha Tauris. It is Spencer Milton in trouble once again in Sector 1. And he's going to come round to finish the race. We're going to focus on these guys as we try and ride on board for the lead. Jimmy here putting Bills under pressure on this final lap. Can they keep it clean down here? That is as close as you can get. In fact, I think they were touching as he tried to go down the inside. He has done it on this closing lap as they come over to take the checkered flag. I am Zach wins the Japanese Grand Prix from Jimmy in P2. Hosty jumps up to P3 due to penalties. Bills in P4 and Alex Ham P5. Alfa Romeo driver of Dan Murphy in P6. Your boy Bizen jumps up to P7 in the Ferrari. Great race by you, and nice little fan club you got going there. Pro Steve in the Haas picks up P8. It's KXI in the Ferrari P9, and rounding off the points, Delonish in the Haas taking the final point this evening. Fastest lap there going to Jimmy in the Red Bull, 130.7 there. I think that was posted right towards the end of the Grand Prix as well. Congratulations to Jimmy picking up another point. That'll be 19 points. I'm sure there's going to be some investigations going on after this Grand Prix, especially with what happened on that restart that we saw. KXI really losing out there, and I think he's going to be a little bit disappointed. He did just come across the track and cut the Alfa Romeo of Don Arjun off. I do think KXI could well be in for a penalty. But there we have it. Season 9 is officially underway. race 1 over. Jimmy getting driver of the day, and I tell you what, from towards right at the back of the grid there, fantastic drive and a fastest lap. I do agree with the game on this occasion. Jimmy was absolutely fantastic. I must say a big shout out to I'm Zach there as well for fending him off in those closing stages. Double podium there then for the Aston Martin team, and Aston Martin now going to straight away jump quite a good lead in the Constructors' Championship after the first race there. 40 points for the Aston Martin team straight off the go. We've just got final classification to be shown for the Grand Prix. Thank you everyone for watching who has been watching, and we're back again same time next week. I race personally on a Tuesday night in Shadow Wolf gaming server, so anyone about tomorrow night, feel free to come and ride on board. It'll be myself driving. Sunday night I also drive in Continental League, and we'll be back next Monday with Dragon Force Racing League's Race 2 of their Season 9. But well done to all of the drivers, and thank you very much for watching. Look forward to next time out.